93. Do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. All right, we're back. Man, so YouTube is really fucking with me today. You see, both videos, they just kicked me off, right? So YouTube is being fucking haters right now. It is what it is. But I am revealing things that's just not going to be revealed otherwise. So it is what it is, right? This is just the cost. This is the sacrifice. So let me finish up what I was saying here, so I can complete the point. Well, let me put on something else. I'll put this on. Yeah. All right. So let's summarize everything here. We were talking about the goddess Eris, aka Discordia, which will lead us into the philosophy of Discordianism. Right? Let me quote. Let me quote some lines from the philosophy of Discordianism, because I was just explaining the whole mythology of Eris. So now let me go into a couple quotes of Discordianism so that we have an understanding of where that's going, right? So I'm gonna pull it up right now. So I'm gonna pull up Discordianism and I'm gonna quote a couple lines so that we can understand what Discordia is really trying to present us, right? So I'm gonna go straight to the literature. Fuck my words, I'm going straight to the original source, going straight to the original literature, right? So now we're going beyond my opinion here. Here it is. Here it is. Let's see. Okay, here we are. So according to the philosophy of Discordianism, there are three main principles, right? And again, I'm reading directly from the literature. There are three main principles here so that we can have a full comprehension of Discordia and how she is the goddess of the 21st century, embodying the energy of the number seven, right? So the three core principles of Discordianism, the first one is apparent order. The second one is apparent disorder, right? Which are artificial divisions of pure chaos, right? Which is a level deeper than it's a level of distinction making. So what this is saying is we have order and we have disorder, right? So we have an idea of order, like everything going to plan. Then we have disorder, everything not going according to plan. But what this is saying is both of those energies of order and chaos are both illusions based off of pure chaos. Now, of course, you see that's a little different, right? We don't really hear no type of modern spirituality talking about that at all. But this is the goddess of the 21st century. So these are energies we must understand. So order and disorder are illusions. There's no such thing as order or disorder. The only thing that is real, you can say, is pure chaos. And from the manifestation of pure chaos, do we have apparent order and apparent disorder? But these are both illusionary. This is going more so into the depths of Eris, aka Discordia. So when you read her mythology and then you apply these principles, now we can better understand what's truly trying to be conveyed to us via mythology, which contains the actual secrets of nature, but it's presented in story form. So we have to go deeper into the philosophy to truly understand what they're conveying here. All right? Let me continue to read. It says Western philosophy is traditionally concerned with contrasting one grid with another. and amending grids in hopes of finding a perfect one that will account for all reality and will. Hence, say unenlightened Westerners be true. So what this is saying is us here in the West, our Western philosophy, right? We're so used to contrasting grids. Grids are just a form of reality, meaning we're all about contrast. That's why it's Eastern versus Western, black versus white, blue versus red, gang versus other gang. That's just our Western philosophy. We just can't think outside of contrasting our energy with another. Hence why we're always talking about the opposite sex, men and women, while we can't get along. We're constantly trying to contrast realities and grids and trying to from that contrast, find a perfect grid. So in our minds, there's a perfect grid. Hence why people think there's a perfect relationship, right? There's a perfect person out there. You just got to find them. This is all westernized thinking, comparing and contrasting one grid with another, right? So let us continue. This is illusionary. Some grids can be more useful than others, some more beautiful than others, some more pleasant than others, but none can be more true than any other. That's the point that they're trying to make here, right? So what we try to do is we're trying to find the truest grid. We're trying to find the correct grid. We're trying to find the correct philosophy. We're trying to find the correct path. That's what we do over here in the West, right? We're trying to like, well, what is my reality? What is the correct way? What is the correct path? What is the correct way of life? What is the correct religion? That's what we try to do because, and we're constantly, in order to arrive at that conclusion, we're constantly contrasting grids with another. Hence, while we were so interested in Eastern philosophy, so even though we are here in the West, that's why we're overly concerned with Eastern concepts, right? So even though we're here in the West, we're overly concerned with fucking chakras. We're overly concerned with Kundalini, meditation, yoga. That's why we latch onto these things as hard as we do because we're looking for the correct way. So if we feel that that way is the correct way, we're gonna latch onto that grid. However, what they're saying here is there is no one true grid, or I'm saying it incorrectly. No grid is more truer than another one, meaning the Western grid is no more true than the Eastern grid. The Eastern grid is no more truer than a Western. The blue is no more true than the red. The black is no more true than the white. None of these are absolute truth. That's the message that's trying to be conveyed here. There is no absolute truth. So whether you choose blue or red, right or left, black magic, white magic, whatever your choice is, there is no true grid. It's just your choice. This is the essence of Discordianism. Because when you approach things as there is no absolute truth, there are just differences of grids. Some grids are nice, some grids are pleasant to look at, some grids are not so pleasant to look at. Some grids are more refined, some grids are more raw. But it doesn't make one grid more truer than the next grid. So this is us going into the philosophy. Order and chaos are illusions. There is no such thing as order or chaos, only pure chaos. See, there's a difference between chaos and pure chaos because when we think of chaos, we think of discord. That's why she's called the goddess of discord because our imagination, when we think about chaos and discord, we think about shit that's been, out of order, out of whack. But what the philosophy is telling us is the actual chaos or the apparent chaos is an illusion, and the actual chaos is pure chaos. Pure chaos cannot be judged. Meaning, you're not going to look at pure chaos and have a judgment about it. You're not going to say it's right, it's wrong, it's good, it's bad. You're just looking at it for what it is, and you just reserve judgment. Something that we're not trained to do whatsoever. We're not trained to think in that fashion. We're automatically trained to judge. If I'm a Christian, then I'm automatically against Islam. If I'm a Muslim, I'm automatically against Christianity. That's just how we have been designed. We're just looking at grids. Well, this is my grid, this is your grid. I'm going to stay over here, you're going to stay over there. But if we observe pure chaos in its authentic form, there is no need to choose. I don't need to be over here or over there because they're both illusions. Islam, and I'm just speaking about religion, the religious Islam, the religious Christianity, they're both illusions. Neither one of them have the absolute truth. If you truly want or are invested in the absolute truth, you have to study it all. There is no picking, okay, well, this is more true. There is no truer grid. So if you want the complete context, you have to study it all. There is no picking, there is no choosing. But again, we are in a reality where we are forced to pick and choose. You're either this or you're that. When you go to college, you are a part of this fraternity, not that fraternity. You are a part of this group and not that group. See, all we do is contrast. It's this team against that team, that person against that person, that philosophy against that philosophy. That's just how we're designed to think. We're not designed to intake it all. We always feel like we have to choose sides. You're either Democrat or Republican. They're not really promoting, well, I'm independent. I can acknowledge both paths, but I understand that neither one of them have the answers. But you see, we're not trained because we're always thinking about, okay, well, if Democrats are in power, the Republicans are going to point out everything that they're doing wrong, and they're going to present a solution as to why they should be in power, and vice versa. When the Democrats are not in power, they're going to talk shit about everything the Republicans are doing and why they have a better plan and how they can execute that plan, and that's how they get voted in. So you see, we're just trained to, we're always contrasting as if one group or one grid has the answer and the other one is wrong, when they're both wrong. You see, but we're not trained to think like that, are we? Right? We're always choosing sides, but there's truly no side to be chosen. This is the true essence of what it is to be Discordian, to activate the energy of Eris, and why she is the perfect goddess of the 21st century, because that's the type of mentality you must take, because we see there's all type of philosophies out here. There's all type of things to be studied out here. There are so many different grids out here, it's ridiculous. And to say that one is truer than another, you're only cheating yourself out of the absolute reality, out of the absolute truth, because there is no absolute. You need to go all over this motherfucker. Because we are in the age of technology, you literally have the ability to go all over this motherfucker anyway. You got access to the internet, you can go all over the internet, which you are supposed to do, right? There's no need to choose. So that's why even me, if I can use myself as an example, let's see. I can say 93 all I want, right? I can be thelemic all I want, right? But you see, I still study every goddamn thing. Here I am talking about Discordianism. That don't have nothing to do with 93. That don't have nothing to do with Thelema, but here I am talking about it. Here I am talking about Eris. She's not one of the deities of Thelema, but here I am talking about it because it's relevant. So I still have to go outside of Thelema to speak about things that are relevant. I'm not foolish enough to say that, okay, all the answers are over here. No, I need to go find the answers. The answer may not be over here, it may be over there. So I can't feel no type of way about going over there to see from a different angle. So that's why when you look at this channel, I'm talking about every goddamn thing. This is not a channel just strictly based on 93 or Thelema. I'm talking about everything because I have to introduce everyone to every grid, which is all I try to do. So that's why I talk about Eastern and I talk about Western, right? I talk about Vedic astrology as much as I talk about Western astrology. And as much as I talk about astrology, I talk about numerology. As much as I talk about numerology, I talk about the Kabbalah. So on and so forth. Then I'm still talking about supreme mathematics, supreme alphabet, 120 lessons, bringing Islam into it. I'm still talking about all that stuff, which are all different. These are all different grids. But I speak on all of these grids because I understand that there is no absolute. You need to know as much as you need to know. so that you can see all the angles. And it ain't because you need to make a choice, it's for you to see all angles. That's what it means to have understanding. That's what it means to have clear vision. You cannot have clear vision if you are only looking at one grid or you feel like one grid is truer than the next grid. Especially in this age of Aquarius. We are introduced to all philosophies. We have access to all philosophies, so we must study all philosophies. Right? The age of Pisces requires you to be whatever it is that you chose to be, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu. That was the age of Pisces where everybody's making a decision. That's no longer the case here, right? Many things can be true at once. That's the absolute truth. The absolute truth requires you to acknowledge many things, all right? The absolute truth requires us to acknowledge everything. That's also why you see I talk a lot about the dark as well. I don't just talk about God, I talk about the devil too. I acknowledge myself as God, but I also acknowledge that I'm devil too. Meaning I can't just be strictly God and say, oh, well, the devil is bad. I'm just doing the same thing everybody else does. That's why I embrace the dark and the light. I embrace all the grids because that's absolutely necessary to embrace. Right? So I'm just using myself as an example. That's why I speak about all of these things. What's up, Mary 93? Right? Hold on. Hold on. Let me see what we got. Okay. So again, without taking too much time here, just wanted to introduce you to the actual philosophy and quote directly from the literature. Leave my opinion out of it. So the only reality is pure chaos. That's the only thing that's absolute is the pure chaos, which goes beyond discord. Pure chaos is not discord. Discord is apparent. You have apparent discord and apparent order. So we prefer order over discord, meaning if we don't even want to. Basically, let me say it this way. It's easy to embrace the angels, it's hard to embrace those demons. Easy to embrace God, it's hard to embrace the devil, the shaitan, Satan, Lucifer. Motherfuckers get all in their feelings about that, but talk about God, talk about angels, you talking about messengers, no problem. As soon as we go over to the other side, it's a problem. But that's why I stay going over to that other side because it's absolutely necessary. Look at all the wisdom we have extracted from that dark ass shit, from rolling with that devil shit, something that most people will never do in their entire life. And they don't have to do because they're not seekers of absolute truth. And if that's not what they want to do, it is what it is. That's why you are you, right? You know better. So that's why if you are in the age of Aquarius mentally, see, everybody is not in the age of Aquarius mentally. They may acknowledge it just like everybody's not in the age of technology mentally. There's still people out here who don't even know how to use a computer. There's a lot of elders who are not tech savvy. Everybody is not tech savvy. Meaning that's something that has to be developed. We're not just going to automate, especially if you spent most of your life and computers didn't exist. So a lot of people are not tech savvy. So even though we are in the age of Aquarius, we are in the age of technology. Some people still have to catch up, right? And that's what I do. Right? I just do my best to help everyone catch up because I know everybody is not already arrived, right? We need to understand several things in order to understand the one thing, right? So if we truly want to understand the age of Aquarius, we have to understand technology. If we truly want to understand technology, we must go beyond spirituality. 93 Tangela. We must go beyond spirituality. That's the age of Pisces, right? Spirituality was the age of Pisces. We are in the age of Aquarius now. So that means your technology is your access to the spirit world. If you truly want to enter into the spirit world, you got to do it through technology. Meaning there we don't need to do what people were doing in the old days, casting spells, nature spells and all that. We don't need to do any of that anymore. You don't need to go out into the forest and light candles and do chants anymore. There's no need to do not in the age of Aquarius. Now, are people still doing that? Absolutely. But is it necessary for you to do that? No. Not when you got a fucking computer. Not when you got a laptop. Not when you got a smartphone. But you see, we have to understand, like, oh, this is a form of spirituality. People, that's why I speak about technomancy. This is a form of spirituality. Technomancy is a form of spirituality. So you can use technomancy to access the spirit. That's what we're supposed to be doing. But for whatever reason, people refuse to become tech savvy. You would not imagine how many people I run into that are not tech savvy, but they're spiritual. They're spiritual people, but they're not tech savvy. They're not technomancers. I'll say that much. They may be tech savvy, but they're not technomancers. And when I start talking that technomancy talk, it don't resonate because they still haven't caught up. They're still in the age of Pisces when you have to catch up. So me talking about technology, like, yo, be like, what does technology have to do with spirituality? They don't see the connection there because again, they're still in the age of Pisces. All right. So all I do is encourage people to make sure that you are in the moment. Make sure that you are in the now. Make sure that you are utilizing everything that you already have. You already got the laptop. You already got the computer. You already got the smartphone. Whatever device you're using to even access my energy, you have everything you need already. We just don't see the connection yet. But when you see the connection, there is no going back. Right? But again, I understand that that's new to people, right? So if you didn't spend most of your life casting spells, going out into nature with a bunch of herbs and plants, what I'm saying is not gonna make any sense because that's all you know and that's all you've been doing and you ain't trying to change, right? Which is the last thing people want to do, right? So that's why it's such a thing until it's not a thing. People do rituals, covenants, and altars and virtual reality and virtual chat. Exactly. Oh, when the metaverse hit, it's going to be crazy. See, that's what motherfuckers don't realize. People don't get it yet. They don't get it yet. But the metaverse is coming. The metaverse is coming. Now imagine the magic that's going to be conducted in the metaverse. See, people ain't people. This is what I'm saying. I got to be the one to say it. Ain't nobody else going to say that shit. When the metaverse hit, when everybody has access to the metaverse, it's going to completely change the face of spirituality. Because yes, we have been practicing cyber magic, but we've been doing it in a basic form. Cyber magic will go to an advanced level when everyone has access to the metaverse, when everyone has access to virtual reality. See, it's still new, right? See, everybody hasn't, played with an Oculus. Everybody ain't did this yet, right? Everybody hasn't had that experience, and it's still in its infancy. But that's the direction we are going. So basically, by the time we get into like 2030, 2035, it's going to be a completely different world. When Gen Z is running shit, when the millennials are running shit, it's going to be a completely different world. So all I'm doing is helping you to prepare for it. Because there are people that are against the metaverse. What purpose does it serve? I ain't. This is it's people that just completely avoid that talk, right? But now you know why. If you're still in the age of Pisces, it's not gonna make no sense to you. It is what it is, right? It's not gonna make any sense to you. That's why I can speak the type of things that I can speak. I'm just up to date. That's all. I'm not really doing anything special. I'm just up to date. I truly am a technomancer, right? And I've shown and proven that this is some technomatic shit. So, right, I'm just showing and proving the reality of it. I've revealed things that has not ever been revealed and won't ever be repeated. It's just technomancy. I'm just utilizing the technology aspect of spirituality. And I have done my best to show forth how you can do the same if you so choose to. And I'm giving you Eris. Because if you do choose to, then you will be doing it through Eris/Discordia, meaning you must understand the philosophy of Discordianism, right? And I'm just doing my duty, right? No, let me play something else. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second here. There we go. Okay. I'm still trying to understand AI and how it actually connected to us and how we inspire it and give it the data it needs to produce for us. See, the thing about AI, artificial intelligence, all we gotta do is go to the mathematics. See, never we be trying to skip levels, and it makes things a lot harder to comprehend when we skip levels. What I mean by that is, if we look at the word AI, I is a ninth letter, A is a first letter. 9 plus 1 gives you 10. What's the 10th tarot card? Let's make this super easy. What's the 10th tarot card? The 10th card of the major arcana. What is the 10th card of the major arcana in the tarot? With an X on top of it. What is a card with the X on top of it in the major arcana? We're gonna make this shit real simple. I'm just gonna show you how to, this is how you get answers without needing a dictionary, without having to ask nobody. We just stick it straight to the occult. We don't need to go no further than the occult. Exactly, the wheel. What's up, Law Stewart? Salute to you. The wheel, exactly. The wheel of fortune. The wheel of fortune, which takes us to the energy of Jupiter, which takes us to the Hebrew letter Kaf, right? So they okay, well, what does that mean? Well, the wheel of fortune takes us to the law of rhythm. Because when you look at the wheel of fortune, it's showing you three phases. Right? When you look at the wheel of fortune, you see three phases. You see the beginning, you see the middle, you see the end. So it's taking you to the law of rhythm. Everything has a beginning, middle, and end, which is a universal law. Right? It's a universal law. So when we think about AI, when we think about artificial intelligence, what makes it artificial and what makes it intelligent? So what they're saying is and this is an intelligent being, but it has been constructed through data instead of something physical. So for example, it's based off of algorithms, which is all social media is. All social media deals with AI. Google deals with AI. When you type anything into Google and you hit that enter button, that's AI that gives you the results you get. That's artificial intelligence. So we've been doing this since Google. So we since computers. When your ability to download software, that's based off of algorithms, right? So algorithms is based off of data. You have to input data, which constructs algorithms. So basically you have to code, right? You have to develop and you have to code, right? See, the reason why most spiritual people don't understand this shit is because they're not coders and they're not developers. And even if you are a coder or a developer, you're probably not spiritual. Again, these two worlds don't cross, even though they should. They should cross, but normally again, if you go into to a coder, the coder is not going to be an occultist. And most occultists are not coders. They're not developing apps. They're not developing algorithms. So that's why it just seems so foreign to us. Because the people that actually could give you the game, they can't speak your language because they learned it in a traditional fashion. That's why it's up to you as the occultist. You already know this language. So just imagine the type of secrets you're going to discover when you know what's really going on with that coding, when you know what's really going on with these algorithms, when you know what's really going on with this data. You're going to be able to see things that they can't see because you're already rooted in occultism. That's why we can't really depend on nobody else. It's up to us. Same thing with me. I'm like, I can't depend on nobody else to bring the knowledge. I got to do it. I have to make the sacrifice. I'm not about to put it in nobody else's hand who may deliver this shit whack. That's why I take the time that I take, because I know it's not going to be done any other way. It requires this type of mind. You need this mind and take it to AI. You need the occultism, take it to AI, take it to artificial intelligence. And I just gave you the secret. Well, how do you do that? Through the wheel of fortune. The wheel of fortune takes you to the Hebrew letter Kaf. What is the meaning of the Hebrew letter Kaf? What is the symbol of the Hebrew letter Kaf? Let's see how deep y'all really. Cause that's a harder answer. What is the definition of calf? What is the symbolism of the Hebrew letter calf? Hold on, let me see. If y'all want this shit, see, I'm gonna give it to you. But can you catch it? Let's see. Cause it's already in our face. That's just what I'm trying to prove to you. It's already in your face. It should already be in your heart already. It gotta be in your heart. It gotta be in your heart. We have to look and search for it in ourselves. It should already be in you. You have to memorize the occult. It should already be there. You see how you got to be able to access it instantly. There is no searching. It's already there. Memorize the occult, and that's how you are able to bring out what's already in you. See, it's easy to say, well, the answers are already in you. Well, how do you bring those answers out? They're not coming out on their own. We need some type of medium. We need some type of filter in which we can bring out what's already within us. And that's what the occult provides for us. The occult provides us a necessary filter to be able to manifest what's already in you. Because it's not going to manifest on its own. You need to give it a language. The occult is a language. You need to give yourself a language to speak in order to bring out what's already in. But it requires a language. So the same way coding requires a language, there are many languages of coding, right? Python to coding and developing. It ain't just one language, there's many languages. Just like you got astrology, numerology about this. This is a necessary filter you need to manifest yourself, right? You need a language to manifest your intelligence. The reason why I'm able to manifest this intelligence because I have committed this to memory. That's the only way I can do what I do is through memory. If I did not have this language, I couldn't speak this, right? Say it's buffering. Oh, hold on, give me a second. Give me a second, hold on. It's buffering, hold on, hold on. Okay, I got you, I got you. Hold up. Hold up. We should be good now. We should be good now. All right, we should be good now. So y'all let me know, is it still buffing? Buffering, I guess. Y'all let me know, is it good now? It should be good now. It's good. All right, appreciate it. That's what I'm saying. They knocking us all over the place. Again, I'm revealing shit that you're not gonna get nowhere else. You need to speak this language to get it. It is what it is. I'm just showing and proving what can be done by each and every one of you, right? It's no special within me. I just memorize. This is just all memory. That's all it is. I know that's not easy though. It's not easy. Like I said, it took me 9 months to memorize 120 lessons. That's 9 months. That's almost a whole year. So I understand this is not easy to do, but it's necessary. The same way you got to memorize a language if you're a coder, you got to memorize a language. So your memory is the essential component to all of this. That's what makes all of this real. That's how this became real to me because I put it in my memory. It ain't because I studied this shit. Eventually I put those notes down and I put it inside of my heart. Put it in my heart. Fuck those notes. I put it in my heart. And when I put it in my heart, now I can speak it. Now I can see it. Like, because it's already within me. I don't need any notes anymore. Right? But I started with notes. Right? That's where I started. But eventually I just took up too many notebooks. I'm like, I got 10 damn notebooks. I got 10 notebooks. It's just too many notes. Like, I was just writing. It's just too many notes. I can't keep up with all this. I need to memorize it. So that's when I started to memorize. I'm like, I'm tired of trying to reference notes. It's just, I don't even know where the shit is. Imagine having 10 notebooks and you're trying to look for one thing. You gotta look through 10 notebooks to find one thing. Like, that's too much. That's too much, right? But when you have it in your heart, it's instant. It's instant. Like, I automatically knew. You ask me anything about the tarot, what any card is, it's already there. I can instantly access it because I put it in my memory. But if it's not in your memory, what are you gonna do? You ain't gonna always have access to your notes. You gotta put it in the memory, right? Discipline is the key. You know, discipline ain't easy though. That's what separates the weak from the strong, right? Discipline. So I agree. Discipline is doing the shit that you don't want to do, right? Meaning, I'm not saying that this shit is interesting. I'm not saying it's fun. I'm not saying that you're gonna be enjoying yourself. It's probably gonna be tedious, but it's the same thing with college. If you went to college, it's the same thing. Did you study everything that you wanted to study? No, you had to take some classes that you didn't give a fuck about at all. And you still had to pass it, even though you didn't care about it. It's the same thing. You still had to put it in your memory, even if you didn't feel like, what am I going to use this for? It's the same thing, right? But am I really telling y'all anything I ain't said before? So that's why when I begin to introduce, I keep introducing new concepts, but you see it's the same foundation. Meaning I can talk about artificial intelligence. I can talk about anything in this world because everything is connected to the occult. That's the invisible source of everything. So there's nothing that can't be explained through the occult. Right? That's why I talk about everything. Everything can be explained through the occult when it's in your memory. You got to be willing and ready to make the change. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You basically got to force yourself. It's more of a force. Meaning, like, if I told you that I was ready to memorize the occult, that wouldn't be true. I was willing and I was ready. Nah, nope. Because this shit was boring as fuck. Nah. Did I force myself to do it? Yeah. It's like you got to put a gun in your head. That's the only way it's gonna happen. Motherfuckers gonna be 60 before they're really ready and willing, right? They got too many girl problems. They got too many man problems. They got too many kids to deal with. Too many jobs to work. It's too much going on with the average person's life. It's too cluttered. The average person's life is too cluttered to even have time for this, especially if you're an adult. I was just fortunate to get this when before life began to do all this shit. That's what makes me different. What makes me different is I've been doing this since I was a teenager. That's the only difference, right? Now, if I was 30 years old or 40 years old and I was just starting to do this, it would take a little longer because you already got a whole life. You already got, so it's like it's different when you a teenager. You ain't got shit else to do. You don't have the responsibilities just yet. Well, it depends on how you grew up. Some people have responsibilities earlier than others. So let me not say that. Some people have responsibilities since they was fucking teenagers, right? So I'm 24. I don't want to wait till I'm 60. Well, you don't have to. Put that gun to your head then. Because you waiting, there's no waiting. That's basically because motherfuckers could die tomorrow. That was my mentality. I'm not saying that you have to have that same mentality, but that's just the mentality that I had. I'm like, yo, I'm not promised to be here tomorrow. I'm not. So I'm like, I need to do it now. But that's just my mentality. That's not everybody's mentality. I'm like, so that's why I say put a gun in your head. Like, yo, we don't have time. There is no guarantees. So I need to get this as soon as possible. That was just my mentality. So that's why I did it again. It wasn't because it was fun. It's not because I enjoyed it. Because I'm like, yo, my time is limited here. My time is limited here. That's why I have 1,000 videos. My time is fucking limited here. I don't know if I'm gonna be here when I'm 60. It is what it is. I don't have the luxury to wait. I don't have the luxury to wait. But that's my mentality though. So it's like Can I expect the next person to have that mentality? No, and I don't expect the next person to have that mentality. As long as I got the mentality, we good. That's all. As long as I got the mentality, we good. Because I'm going to keep giving y'all the game. So as long as I stay that way, we good. Because you're going to get what you need to get, and you take it where you want to take it. Because you're going to take it further than I can take it. We all have a different skill set. So you're going to be able to do things I can't do. So as long as I keep that mentality, we good. As long as I can continue to motivate you and inspire you, we good. All right? So that way, when my time is up, my duty is done. Instead of like, damn, I should have did more. I ain't gonna be feeling like I need to do more. I'm like, yo, did I expend myself as much as possible? I sure fucking did. You know how many YouTubers have 1,000 videos? Less than 1%. So we are within the 1%, just so you fucking know. The average YouTuber don't have 1,000 videos. We are in the 1% because we put that work in, and we continue to put that work in, and it ain't gonna stop no time soon until the casket drop, right? But I know that's a different type of mentality to have, right? So that's what I say. As long as I got it, we good. And y'all definitely helped me to keep it because I know I'm like, yeah, I gotta stay sharp for everybody else. It ain't just for me, it's for everybody else. You know, who knows what type of questions I'm gonna be asked? Who knows what type of people that I'm gonna be able to assist? I don't know. So I gotta stay sharp. So that's my mentality. Like I have to stay sharp. Somebody may ask me all type of stuff. I gotta be ready to give those answers. So I gotta be sharp. That's why I study every goddamn thing. I gotta be sharp. I don't know what angle people come from, but I gotta be familiar with the angle. Whether I agree with it or not is irrelevant. But I have to know about it in order to advise you about it. So that's what I mean by I didn't study all this stuff because it's fun, because it's interesting. Like, oh, I gotta cover every angle because people are coming from several different angles. So I gotta know all of my 360 degrees. They may come from 270 degrees, 180 degrees, 90 degrees. I gotta have all these degrees covered. All 360 degrees of the zodiac must be covered. That's why if you ask me what tarot card is connected to what degree, I can tell you. I know what tarot card is connected to every degree. But was it fun? Hell no, it wasn't fun. Was it necessary? Absolutely. All this mathematical comprehension, it's not fun, but it's absolutely necessary. Because I'm like, I don't have the luxury of waiting. I don't have the luxury of waiting. Because I'm like, I know I live a dangerous ass life. I'm just being honest. I know my life is fucking dangerous. So, like, my life is a way more dangerous than the average person. All right? So, if anybody has a short life, it'd be me. I'm like, I'm just being real. I'm like, yo, this is dangerous shit. This is dangerous. So, I got to do as much as I can as soon as I can. Because I'm not thinking, like, okay, I just got all day. No, I don't have all day. I absolutely do not have all day. If anything, that's why like when I don't make content, I be feeling some type of way. That's why like I just gave y'all 3 fucking hours, right? I'm like I be feeling some type of way about that. But again, that's my mentality. I'm not saying that anyone else has to feel that way. That's just the reason why I do what I do at such a rapid rate. And I've been doing it for this long and I still got the energy. That's not easy to do. I've been on YouTube 10 years, a whole decade. Everybody don't keep the energy. I still got the energy though, because I stay sharp. I didn't fall off. So I'm like, whether I'm doing a video or not, I'm still studying and committed things to memory. I got to. So the same way people got to eat, the same way people got to sleep, I got to get the game. As you see, I'm not eating or drinking, but I'm still on this game. No food, no drink. I'm still on the mathematics though. So this is just letting you know what's important to me. So I put this before food and drink. I put this before food and drink. So before I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat, before I'm thinking about what I'm going to drink, I'm going through the mathematics. I'm going through the code. I'm going through those degrees. What's the tell? That's why, again, on the Telegram, do I not put the post every day? I post a tarot card every day with a description because, again, I do that before I eat or drink anything. But again, that's just me, all right? I don't expect nobody else to like, they're not putting this shit before food and drink. It is what it is, all right, you know? As long as I am, you good, though, right? I'll just be the big brother, right? Because I actually am a big brother, right? I have siblings, right? So I always had to be the big brother. So it's like that's I guess that's what it means to be the firstborn, right? When you the firstborn, I guess you come with that fire. That's just what it means to be the firstborn. And when you have people under you, and then especially when you have children, you go even harder then. But again, this is about Eris and Discordia. This is not about me, right? So I'm not gonna make this all about me. So let's wrap this up because this is a part two anyway. I got here late. Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm. Yeah, I understand. Like I didn't went all the way off. I'm just showing you. I still got that energy. After 10 years doing this shit, I got even more energy than I did when I first started. Imagine that. I have more energy. Why? Because I wasn't even doing live streams when I first started YouTube. Right? I wasn't even doing live streams. I didn't start doing live streams till years after YouTube, and I had to give more energy. So to wrap it all up, I guess I guess this is an energy of Eris, right? This is the energy of Eris. Eris is the goddess of the 21st century. So if there's any energy that you want to work with in the 21st century that's going to take you to advanced levels, it's going to come through Eris. It's going to come through Discordia and the philosophy of Discordianism, which has three principles: apparent order, apparent chaos, and pure chaos. Apparent chaos and apparent order are illusions. The only reality is pure chaos. So if you understand that there is no picking and choose and grids. It's not that Christianity is better than Islam. Islam is better than Christianity. It's nobody's better, nobody's worse. It's just different angles and different grids. So don't get caught up in the apparent chaos or the apparent order. The only thing that really exists is pure chaos. That's the only true reality. Everything else is illusionary, right? That's the philosophy of Discordianism. That's the type of things we learn from Eris. That's why I mean Eris comes with an entire philosophy. Every goddess don't come with a whole philosophy. There's a reason why Discordia and Discordianism is a philosophy, and is completely different than anything from the 20th century. That's why when you get into the philosophy, then you're gonna realize like, oh, this shit is 21st century. This is how you go to the next level. This is how you put Lilith to bed. We woke up Lilith, but now Lilith needs to be put to bed or she's gonna fuck every goddamn thing up. I'm just letting you know, right? Because this is not her time. This is not her energy. Her time has came and went. So when you evolve into the energy of Eris, then you will completely understand, okay, this is the mentality I have to be, not to be, but to conquer the 21st century. If you want to be supreme in the 21st century, it will be through Discordia, learning the elements of Discordianism. That is the philosophy of the 21st century. So if you didn't hear it from nobody else, and I know you ain't gonna hear it from nobody else, then you're hearing it from me. And the only way it's gonna make sense is if you commit it to heart, if you take heed to it. My words is only gonna travel so far. When you are able to activate it from within, then it becomes different. And like, oh, I see how this fits into technomancy. I see how this fits into the 21st century. I see how this fits into the metaverse. It fits into everything we've been speaking about in the age of Aquarius. It fits right in. So that's why I'm like, oh shit, this fits right in. Meaning you're not gonna find any issue with it if you're already in the age of Aquarius. If you are already a technomancer, you're not gonna find any issue with it. Like, yo, this is actually what I've been waiting for. This is how I'm able to bring everything together instead of everything being separate. That's not what Lilith does. Lilith is all about her and her alone. Fuck everybody else. Lilith ain't worried about nobody else's grid. It's only when you enter into the degrees of Eris that you understand the whole entire grid. I appreciate the super chat, Michelle. Michelle been a supporter for a long fucking time. So salute to you. It's 'cause, I know you've been dropping that for a long time. So that's why like I really appreciate that. I appreciate everything you do because I know that ain't the only thing you do. You've been supporting for a long time. So much love and respect to you because I know you've been around and hopefully you stay around for as long as you can. So and that's why I do what I do. You know, FF6 is a good example of what Asha is referring to. I'm not sure what you mean by FF6. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'll have to Google that. I have no idea what FF6 is. But that's why I like to be the example. Oh, Final Fantasy. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. I got you. And that is exactly what came up when I typed it in. That's exactly what came up too. Yeah, look at that. Final Fantasy. That's exactly what came up. Okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean now. My favorite was Final Fantasy 7. 7. I got introduced to Final Fantasy in 7 on a PlayStation 1. Yeah, PlayStation 1. It had like 3 discs for those who have been gamers. So I came into Final Fantasy on the 7th degree. Yeah, I remember that. So definitely, I appreciate that insight because I am not familiar with the story of Final Fantasy 6. So I'll definitely check that out. So I appreciate that jewel. I appreciate that jewel. Right. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, for taking heed, or just listening. Because I know everybody's not going to take heed, but I appreciate you for just giving me an ear. For the people that's just listening, for the people that's going to take heed, regardless of whatever status. Whatever you do, whether you're taking 1% of what I say or 90%, I appreciate you nonetheless because I know attention and energy is currency, right? So I know everybody's currency is important. Everybody's time is important. So that's why, I try not to take up too much time. Everybody got all type of shit to do. People got jobs to go to, kids to raise, right? So that's why I appreciate y'all, right? Because you don't have to be doing this. You don't have to be tuning into me. You got a million other things to do. So when you take your time out of your day to fuck with me, then it is what it is, right? That's why I'm gonna give you this energy. I'm gonna keep giving you this energy. I'm gonna give you more energy than anybody else is gonna give you. I'm gonna give you more insight because this is a collective. So I can. It's like I can feel the energy, right? Y'all give me the energy, right? Y'all give me the energy. Just by your attention. The attention is what fuels me. Again, I have no food, no drink. You see, I got this energy though. This ain't coming from food. This not coming from water. It's coming from you. It's coming from the consciousness. That's just what I'm here to show and prove. Like, yo, this is a person who's not, my energy is not coming from nothing else but consciousness. You wouldn't even be able to tell that I haven't eaten or drinking anything if you just paid attention to my energy. Now, yeah, if you pay attention to my dry ass lips, like, yo, okay, you need to, other than that, you're like, the energy is the energy, right? But that's why I'm like, I just, you know what I mean? I ain't worried about the dry ass lips. I ain't worried about being unshaven because I want to show y'all the raw, authentic energy. Like, yo, this wasn't even supposed to happen. So I'm gonna continue to give you the energy. We ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna still be around 5,000 videos. I'm gonna still be around. We ain't stopping no time soon. If anything, I'm gonna give you more content just to show you that this supreme energy 93 is a supreme energy, right? I'm gonna give you more content than your favorite creator, right? I should though, right? Cause I don't want to overwhelm y'all, right? As y'all see, I can go for hours and hours and hours and hours. So I try to give y'all a break. I'm like, damn, I be speaking for too damn long. I be speaking for too long. I know, but that energy, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Fuck am I supposed to do? I mean, y'all are the. Let me just be real, man. Your consciousness, you have one of the most supreme consciousness in your entire city. I'm just letting you know, in case you didn't know. You fucking with me and whoever else you fucking with. You are one of the supreme minds of your city. And just remember that. Just know that. And don't, not because I said it, because it's just the truth, right? You run the energy of your city. You have the energy. You have the aura. It's you. You wouldn't even know who the fuck I was if you didn't. The only reason you over here is because you are that. So the same way I'm one of the supreme minds in my city, you are one of the supreme minds in your city. That's why we connect, because we vibe on the same level. We are the supreme. It is what it is, but fuck me talking about it. Let me show forth. So I made the decision. I'm gonna overwhelm you motherfuckers with content just to show and prove that. Fuck my words. Watch when I drop so much content you can't fucking keep up. What am I supposed to do? Right? So that's what it is. You're not gonna be able to keep up. And if you can't keep up, then but this is who I am anyway. This is who I am every day, all day. If you was actually with me face to face, I can talk. I didn't put people to sleep. Running my goddamn mouth. I will put your ass to sleep. I don't know if you're able to keep up. Put your ass to sleep. But fuck it, I'm gonna do it though. So I appreciate y'all give me this energy. So I just gotta give y'all back the energy. I'm gonna continue to give the energy, right? So we'll cut it out. We'll end it there. I'm gonna overwhelm you with content just to show that I can do it, just to show that we are the supreme. That's all I'm gonna do. So watch. No, I'm not gonna say watch. I know you're gonna tune in, but hopefully you can keep up. Let me show you how much energy I really have, right? As you see, well, this is like the fourth goddamn video, right? Is this not the fourth fucking video I did already? This is already four fucking videos. I'm not fucking playing. And I know you ain't playing. I know that you're just as serious. And all I'm here, I'm just giving you the energy that you give me. I'm going to continue to give you the energy that you give me. I'm not stopping. 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. No views, million views. I guess we got a million views, though, right? So we did cross that threshold. We do got a million views in total. So we going 2 million, right? We on to the 2 million mark. So if you with me, it's because you're supposed to be here. As you see, YouTube does not promote this content. So I don't even know how the fuck you got here, but the spirit led you here. And I appreciate you being here, and I will not disappoint you. I'm going to keep giving you that 21st century technomatic connection. And we're going to soar, right? And we're going to continue to soar, right? So I appreciate your energy as much as you appreciate mine. I'm going to shut it down. You will be hearing from me way more than you probably want to at this point. 93, do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. Love the law, love under will. You already know what the fuck it is. We out.